Hi friends, some of you may recognize me as Miss Susan from the Washington County Free Library. And I obviously am not in the library, I am at home in my kitchen today. And I have a question for you. Do you like icy cold drinks? A slushie is about as close as you can get to liquid ice, colder than water, but more drinkable than ice. Using some common household items, a little bit of patience, and the help of science, you can make this delicious sweet drink at home. So let's go ahead and get started. And when we're finished, I will tell you a little bit about the science behind our slushie. All right, so first I'm going to go over what you'll need to have in order to make your slushie. So you are going to need to start with some warm tap water. I have it in a bottle just because it's easier to get to. You'll also need some measuring cups, some zipper sandwich bags, a little bit of salt. This is kosher salt, but you can use any kind of salt. Some measuring spoons, and a bowl to mix your solution up in. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to take a 1/2 cup measuring cup and I'm going to measure out a 1/2 cup of water. There we go. All right. The next thing I'm going to do is take my measuring spoons and I'm going to find the one that says 1 teaspoon. And labeled on most measuring spoons, you'll see it as 1 and then it has a small t, SP, and that means 1 teaspoon. Some measuring, or sometimes when you make something, you might have to use like a tablespoon, but this time it's just 1 teaspoon. So we have our teaspoon ready, and I'm gonna open up my salt, and I'm gonna grab a bowl just to measure it over in case I get a little bit too much. All right, so there's my teaspoon of salt, and I'm gonna pour it into the warm water. And next I need a spoon. So I'm just gonna stir up the warm water and salt. And when you do yours, you'll want to keep stirring until all of the salt has dissolved. And that means basically you just won't see it anymore. Okay. So yours is gonna take probably a little bit longer than what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna just stop here and move on to the next step. Now at this point, if you would like, you can take a little bit of food coloring and add just a drop to your water, and then that'll help you be able to see your ice water a little bit better. Now keep in mind, this isn't the stuff that you're gonna drink for the slushie. This is just what's going to help make the slushie. So now I have a sandwich size zipper bag, and I'm gonna take my bowl and just pour the water in. There we go. And I will zipper it shut. Make sure you take extra care to zip it really well so that it's sealed all the way. And I'm just gonna kind of turn mine upside down and shoo, nothing happens. No leaks, no drips. Okay. So this is ready now. And so you're gonna go ahead and repeat those steps so that you have 4 bags of this ice, or the solution with the water and the salt actually in it. When you're done, you're gonna go ahead and take your bag and put it in your freezer. And your bags need to sit in the freezer for several hours or so. So this is kind of like a 2-part experiment. It'll need to sit for several hours until they're pretty firm, kind of slushy ice. Now that my bags are frozen and they have the frozen saltwater solution inside them, they are ready to go. So what you're gonna wanna do is just unzip the container just for a quick second and try to get any air out of the bag. There isn't really a whole lot in this one. So I just kind of press just a little bit, and now I'm gonna seal it up again tight. And you wanna make sure that you seal it tight again too, because if you don't, you're gonna get some of this saltwater solution that's gonna leak out into your slushy. Because this is not the slushy. Yes, this is what's gonna help you make your slushy. Okay. This one looks pretty good. All right, so the next thing that you will need is some kind of juice. This is just some orange juice. It doesn't have any pulp in it, so a juice that doesn't have pulp is probably gonna be better than one that does. And, or if you wanted, you could use like a fruit juice, like an apple juice, grape juice. Really, you could use a fruit punch if you wanted. Pretty much any kind of juice, just as long as it's chilled. This has been in the refrigerator actually for a few days because our family has had some drinks from it. So you need the juice, and you'll need 2 containers. And you can use kind of any type of small containers. You can use like, these actually are just little takeout containers from some soup that we got when we had some Chinese food in our house. I just saved these containers, but you can use anything that has a nice lid that will seal up. And then you'll need your measuring cup again, and in a little bit some chilled water. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna get my container, put these up there, and I'm gonna measure out 1 cup of orange juice. So I'm using a 1/2 cup measuring cup right now, so we'll do 2 of these because a 1/2 and a 1/2 equal a whole. All right, and then I'm going to take my bag and I'm going to break it up just kind of a little bit because I'm hoping it'll fit in here. So I'm going to have to crunch just a little bit. And I'm going to try to squish it in there with the top on tight. All right, I'm going to make sure the top is on really tight because I don't want the juice to come flying out anywhere. So you might get your parents to help you with this a little. Just make sure it's on really well. Okay. And so now I'm just going to start kind of shaking. I'll just shake it a little here, a little there. And I'm hoping that as I do this, orange juice is going to kind of magically turn into a slushy. And we'll see how long it takes. I'm not going to film this whole thing, but basically you just want to kind of shake it a little here, maybe set it down for a minute or 2, and then just pick it up and keep shaking. I've been shaking this for another 3 minutes, and I'm going to take the top off one more time and see if things solidified a little bit more, or if it stayed about the same, or if maybe it started to melt a little bit. I don't know. I think about 3 or 4 minutes actually turned out to be just about the right amount of time to do this slushy, because it's still, you can kind of see it there, it still does have some slush in it, definitely, but it looks like it's starting to liquefy again as well. And that could be because my bag is So it's gonna be a little bit sloppy right now. But if you can see this, my bag of, of the saltwater solution is really starting to defrost. It really is not frozen anymore at all. So it has melted. And so now I have this slushy. So I'm gonna try a little taste. That's really good. Wow. That's delicious. And it's so refreshing. A great tasty treat for a hot afternoon. I decided to take my slushy and pour it into this fun glass and even added a cute little beach umbrella to the edge of it. So what happened? How did the orange juice turn into a slushy? While making the slushy, the bag of frozen salt water basically absorbed the heat from the orange juice. The process melted the salt water, ice, and cooled the liquids. So that's pretty much what happened here. If you would like to try this at home, please do. And as you are making your slushy, you may have to experiment a little bit with shaking back and forth and experiment a little bit with the amount of time that it takes. But if for some reason your slushy doesn't work right away, keep up the efforts and see what you can do, and hopefully it will turn into one. I would think so. And if not, then you can learn kind of from trial and error, and eventually it should work. But I am happy to report that I did this 2 different times, and mine turned into a slushy very quickly after each time I did it. You can also save your bag of the salt water, and you can just clean out the outside or have a parent help you do that. Just wash the outside of it off, and then you can put it back in your freezer for the next time that you would like to try to make a delicious, cool slushy. Hope you enjoyed the video.